This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Chris Young with the WMNF News headlines. 1 week after Hurricane Milton hit, Hillsborough County schools are the last county in Tampa Bay to start classes again today. The district reported that right after Hurricane Milton, more than 100 Hillsborough schools were unusable due to flooding, downed trees, and power outages. Many residents in Tampa Bay are cleaning up from Hurricane Milton and Helene, and people will need to watch out for severe, potentially fatal bacteria lurking in floodwater. The bacterium, called Vibrio vulnificus, is prevalent in warm and salty water. It pops up in the Gulf during the summer and coincides with hurricane season. And Public Information Officer with the Florida Department of Health, Tom Iovino, says it brings heavy risk.
It's an infection, so you see the typical redness, swelling, discharge, but then it could become ulcerated and it can become very dangerous after that.
There have been a record 13 cases in Pinellas County just this year, according to the Florida Department of Health website.
If we see storm surge and you're in an area that you're actually doing storm cleanup, what happens is you can get a cut, you can get a scrape, you can get a laceration, a puncture. And what happens is people think, okay, I don't have to worry about that. But what you should do at that point is stop and wash that area very well with soap and clean water.
Iovino also encourages people to check the status of their tetanus shots, too. A political committee leading efforts to pass a ballot proposal on abortion rights filed a federal lawsuit yesterday, alleging the state violated the First Amendment by threatening television stations over an ad supporting the measure. The lawsuit came amid a fierce political battle about what will appear on the November 5th ballot as Governor Ron DeSantis' administration is fighting the abortion amendment, which Floridians Protecting Freedom began pursuing last year after DeSantis and the Republican-controlled legislature approved a law largely preventing abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The Florida Department of Health early this month sent letters to TV stations calling for them to stop running a Floridians Protecting Freedom ad. The department alleged the ad included false and, quote, dangerous information and threatened to seek injunctions or possible criminal prosecution against the stations. Some anti-abortion advocates are attempting to force Florida's abortion amendment off the ballot this November or void any votes cast for it. They're pointing to a report from the DeSantis administration that said that there was widespread fraud in the petition gathering for the effort. The Tampa Bay Times reports a lawsuit filed yesterday in the Ninth Judicial Circuit argues that the sponsors behind Amendment 4 didn't meet the required signature threshold to get on the ballot when the alleged fraud is considered. Amendment 4 again proposes protecting abortion access until viability, which is about 24 weeks of pregnancy. A federal appeals court is about to hear a challenge to a Florida law that bars people under age 21 from buying rifles and other long guns. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court has allowed a Pennsylvania gun restriction on young adults, at least temporarily. Margie Menzel has more.
The Supreme Court overturned an appeals court ruling that blocked a Pennsylvania law preventing people under age 21 from carrying guns during declared emergencies. In that case, known as United States v. Rahimi, the Supreme Court backed a ban on gun possession by people under domestic violence restraining orders. Attorneys for Florida and the National Rifle Association, which is challenging the constitutionality of the Florida law, have filed briefs in recent months addressing how the Rahimi opinion applies or doesn't to the case. I'm Margie Menzel.
A student loan cancellation program for public workers has granted relief to more than 1 million Americans, up from just 7,000 who were approved before it was updated by the Biden administration 2 years ago. President Joe Biden announced the milestone today, saying his administration restored a promise to America's teachers, firefighters, nurses, and other public servants. He celebrated it even as his broader student loan plans remain halted by courts following legal challenges by Republican-led states. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program was created in 2007, but until recently, the vast majority of applicants were rejected because of little-known rules. Right now, it's 56 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today should be partly sunny with a high of 78, and tonight is expected to be partly cloudy and cool with a low of 56. I'm Chris Young with the WMNF News headline.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.